Alright, bud, we'll catch you later. We are at round 9 of the GNCC Racing Series at Snowshoe Resort in West Virginia. I cannot believe that I'm actually racing a GNCC event this year, especially the Snowshoe Mountain. More about that later, but the mountain had a lot to throw at us this year, and Trail Seeker Adventure is going to take you out on the track to show you what it was all about. This is the only race that the GNCC doesn't have a dead engine start. We start out on the street, usually in our class. Unfortunately, I didn't decide to race until the day before. Got up here at about 7 a.m. I am racing the morning race, which is a 2-hour event. Get as many laps in as you can within 2 hours, usually. I am running Masters A, which is 50 plus. I'm obviously the last one to sign up in my class, so I am a few rows back from my actual class lineup. I am actually lined up with the Sportsman A guys, which is the blue stickers on the back of their helmet. And I'm going to get you pretty much a full first lap. In the first few miles we had a lot of this ski slope road fast stuff, so I took some of that out. Some of the things you do need to be aware of on the Snowshoe Mountain is these water breaks. Yeah, there's an occasional rock at Snowshoe, but some of the things you also got to look out for is the clay is so slick here. You can have traction 1 minute and then lose it just because the dirt's a little wet. This was the first area that we ran into a bottleneck. There's a little cut through between the slopes that they run us through, and this bridge gets very slick. Just one of the obstacles that we had to worry about. It started out very dry, but by the end of the second lap it became a downpour, which actually I enjoyed. It kind of washed the slime off the rocks, and actually was able to get up to a decent speed. As you heard, I was surprised that I was even going to race the Snowshoe event, and that's because I have a bum knee, and this is why I fell over 3 times on the first lap. Like right there, instead of putting my leg down to catch myself, I just fall over. If you ever seen one of those fainting goats, if you follow me, that's probably what I look like. Instead of putting my foot down, I would just fall over. So it happened a few times, especially on the first lap. But it was December. I jacked my knee up. I did not go to the doctor. Thought I had it healed. Went to US Sprint Enduro round 1. Just dabbed my foot on the ground. Finished off my ACL and a few other things. Planned on getting surgery, but throughout the last actually 3 or 4 weeks, it's actually felt pretty good. As far as pain, it still kind of flops around every once in a while. I get it off kilter, but this race is 1 hour from my house. I absolutely love coming here to ride for the most part. Couldn't miss it. Heidi and I had the week off before this race. We was at Hatfield McCoy Trails in southern West Virginia. Make sure you check out our channel. We've already have a couple videos about Hatfields if you're curious what Hatfield has to offer. But we was pretty tired, or I was pretty tired. Wasn't sure. Here's another place I just fell over. As you notice, every time I hit the ground is on the left side. That is where my sore leg is. Probably shouldn't be out here at all, but yeah, we're racers. We do what we do. But I was tired. Wasn't even wanting to come up here Saturday. got working on my bike, and I said, Heidi, let's go. She was excited. We packed the truck up and headed to Snowshoe. Now, we're heading to the other side of the mountain. We'll be crossing the road at the top of the world. I definitely want to give Jared Little and my wife Heidi a big thanks for coming up and help. It sure makes it a lot more fun. If you don't like mud, roots, or rocks, you're not probably going to have fun here. I have more fun over here on this side. I really don't like all the fast 50, 60 mile an hour ski slopes. I've seen too many people along the track that caught the rock the wrong way. Things are getting a little serious in here. The sticker on the back of the 50A class is a bright orange sticker. The bright green is the 45A class. We have the pro women in front of us. And of course the usually 60 or 70 Sportsman A guys. I'm not sure why they don't. They used to put those behind us, but I think because, I don't know, either they wanted us to stay off the podium and focus on the pro women, which is, you know, cool, but they don't get in the overall and they don't get points. I'm not sure why they put them in front of the points A. I think they should either be behind the A points paying A classes or in the afternoon. That's the Sportsman A class. Just my opinion. We used to be in front of them, and now they stick them in front of us. I wish I could just count how many of them I passed on his first lap, but that's just, we all have the same track and obstacle. I'm catching up with Scott. He's in my class. Scott is second in points this year, but nobody has anything for Steve, the points leader. And the way they usually do that, as I beep at him, this is my dual sport. That's why I got the headlight and the horn. But I usually just use it to beep at people I know along the track. I don't beep at people to get out of my way, just so y'all know. But usually the top 5 in the class will be on the front row. They usually send out 5 at a time. So there was the top 5, and then the next row was, I think there were 6, and then there was a row of Sportsman A, and then there was me. So I was back a few rows, which is not a bad thing. Like if I catch somebody in my class, I don't actually have to pass them to beat them. So that's one good thing about it. We're coming into one of my more favorite sections. It's muddy, but it's not as slimy. These rocks and stuff, I think, keep washed off. You can actually get halfway decent speed through here. On this side of the mountain, it's pretty much action-packed from the time you cross the road until you get back. The other side of the mountain, I kind of understand why they have to put us on the logging roads, or they're not really logging roads, the ski slopes and the slope access roads. There's a lot of downhill mountain biking trails over there, which I'm sure Snowshoe don't want jacked up from us coming through and pretty much destroying the trail. Here I catch a rock, which throws me off the track, and I'm thinking I'm okay, but then of course I fall over again because I didn't want to put my foot down. But then we come to Actually, this is the steepest downhill section of Snowshoe for us in the morning class. I'll pop a tear off the camera here at the bottom of the hill, so another Sportsman A guy. If you was at this race, make sure you leave a comment of how you liked Snowshoe 2022. Up here on the left, you'll see Tyler Jones. She caught up with us at the end of second lap and passed me, and I'm pretty sure there was another pro girl right behind her. I'm like, what the heck? I was confused there for a second. I didn't know if maybe they went the wrong way, but from what I've heard, she crashed and broke her throttle body and somehow got her crew down there to fix it and still came back and actually beat me in the overall. She picked a good place to crash. Not that she picked it, but it was right along the main highway there, so that was good for her. We're coming up to somebody in my class. You can see the bright orange sticker. That's what we're looking for. Well, that's what I'm looking for. Now we're coming down into the section that I probably hate worse than the fast stuff. And this stuff is so sticky, slimy, rutty. I don't do very well with ruts anyways. But as I make this look so easy, not the second lap, I even make it look even more difficult. I get sideways in these ruts and I have a heck of a time trying to get myself going again. But once I got a straight rut, I was able to gas it and make the pass. I believe there's another, I think, yeah, that's another orange sticker there. It's another one in my class. I really had low expectations. That looks like me most of the time coming through a rut, getting off balance. For this weekend, I mostly just wanted to come up. I knew Heidi wanted to come up. She loves watching me race. But I just wanted to come up and try to at least get around the track. I actually ended up second in my class and 54th or something overall. I'm totally okay with that. Here's a rock garden. And the track was actually exactly the same as last year. That's how I know about these little lines here and there, because Heidi and I actually walked this entire section last year. This year we didn't get up here in time to really walk any of the track. But the only thing that changed from 2021 was we did not get to go down into Howard's Hole. Other than that, it's exactly the same track as we did last year. But I was actually surprised that I was able to get up to a decent speed. My leg in the last, I don't know if y'all have ever, or if anybody's had an ACL separation, but the pain is kind of going away. I still know there's an issue because I walk, it snaps and pops, and obviously it is not right, but the pain is going away. So it's kind of hard to make the decision. Do I wait to go get it fixed or replaced? Has anybody had an ACL tore completely and they're able to run and do things as normal? From what I hear is, yeah, the pain will go away, but then you'll get on something unlevel or catch it the wrong way and it will jack your knee up again. That's what I don't want to happen. So As of right now, I'm still planning on getting the surgery to get it fixed, but if anybody has any information, I'd greatly appreciate it. We're out here at Snowshoe Mountain. As I was mentioning, there were many downhill mountain bike trails on the other side. That's probably why they keep us on the roads. If you ever wondered what downhill mountain biking at Snowshoe is all about, we've got a video for that where I brought my son Neil, which has never did a downhill mountain biking event, and he was able to come out and have a blast. So make sure you check that out. Trail Seeker Adventures. That's what we do. We bring the camera, bring it out on the track or the ride park or hiking trail, whatever we're out doing, we bring the camera. That way you can see if that's something that you or your friend would be interested in doing. Check it out before you get off the couch or load your bike. We are at Snowshoe Mountain for Gncc Round 9, taking you around a lap so you can see what all the fuss was about. We did have the occasional rock to contend with here at Snowshoe. Mud is always an issue. People always say, oh, it's going to be raining, it's going to be nasty. Well, that really doesn't matter here at Snowshoe because it's usually a muddy mess in the middle of a drought for some reason. But the rocks and the roots is usually the biggest issue. I mean, obviously, it's always muddy. We are on a section where the four-wheelers did not run the day before. Gncc is a 2-day event, actually becoming a 3-day event. I think they had the Stacy race on Friday, but they had four-wheelers and mountain bikes on Saturday. But this is a section that they did not get to come out and enjoy, so it's a bike-only section. First lap, and I was on row 16, so you times that by about 5 or so. That's how many went through this trail. I am on the 2020 Beta 430RR Race Edition. I'm going to have to delete some of this because of that spot. I'll tear off for you real quick there. It is completely stock suspension, other than I did put a extended bladder on the rear shock. If you have a Beta, 100% recommend that you at least do that. Last year I actually have a video from when I ran my 2020 Beta 300RR and I did not have that bladder on it, and the fast stuff scared me to death. Finding a good line on Snowshoe is very important, especially through these rock sections. You can't really tell. We're starting back up the mountain. We went to the bottom, went through a rocky section. Now we're heading back up the mountain. This year, same as last year, they did not take us up the power line. So we basically ran this, I don't know if it's a logging road or access road or whatever they want to call it, but basically ran this road all the way up to the blacktop. Then we hit 50, 60 miles an hour out across some muddy blacktop, crossed back over to the other side of the mountain, and then we rode some ski slope back to the finish. On lap 1 we had sunshine conditions. Obviously you can see it's muddy. I was pretty hesitant the first lap, especially on the fast stuff. lap 2 we started. It was still sunny, but about halfway through the second lap we started getting sprinkles, and then before I came in, it became a downpour for the rest of the second lap and the entire third lap. And actually, it made the track a lot better. You've probably heard that before, but that mud's very sticky. It wants to pull you one way or another. The slime is all over the rocks. And as soon as it started raining, my confidence level went from about 30 to about a 60. I felt a lot faster. Well, I didn't know it at the time, which was going to be the third lap, which became the last lap. It's supposed to be a 4-lap event, but I'm not real sure why they shortened us 1 lap. I did hear some pretty close thunder and lightning, or they were concerned about getting everybody out of the woods so the pro race could get going at a reasonable time. I was running 3rd, 4th, maybe even 5th, back and forth throughout the entire day. I think the first lap I came through 3rd here as we were coming up on the blacktop. I'm feeling like I have a flat tire, but I didn't. I think the second lap I came through 4th, and then on the last lap we came to a bottleneck. I seen Chuck, he was stuck down in the bottleneck. I got around him, and then shortly after that I caught another sticker, which I think might have been Jeff Ford or Bo. I'm not sure. I don't know that I've raced Bo, but I ended up 2nd at the end of the 3rd lap, and I was supposed to be another lap to go. I went in to get a change of goggles. Heidi said the race was over, just to go to the finish line. She pointed me, so I go ahead and finish. I was kind of disappointed in that because I was actually having fun out there just splashing in the rain, in the mud. But Steve won the event, and he beat me by 5 minutes. And I'm pretty sure I was not going to be able to make that up. And so the only place I had to go was down if we had another lap. So I was okay with only doing about 3 laps as I come in. I just need a drink. I was in such a rush to get up here. I could not find my camel pack at all, so I had no water. Heidi had a bottle ready for me each lap as I come in and finish lap 1. Hope that gives you somewhat of an idea what a lap at Snowshoe, other than a lot of the high-speed slope that I cut out of it. Not sure what Daniel Ranoff was telling me, but I'm sure it was helpful information. As we get ready to go out and hit lap 2, pretty much skip all the fast stuff, come down here in the sloppy mud. I catch up with Chuck. I see his white helmet with an orange sticker there. He didn't know it, but I caught him a few times throughout the lap before. I could never make the pass on him, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, he's over here on that new trail. I know what this trail is all about. I'm gonna come over here, which was a mistake. Get jacked up. He is over there on some fresh trail. I'm struggling as I'm paddling. As I said earlier, I suck in ruts, especially sticky mud ruts. He gets back in front of me. I'm pretty sure he saw me because he got pretty aggressive as far as on the gas to try to get back in front of me. I get over here and I'm like, I've never rode a bike before. My front wheel gets out of the rut. My back wheel is in the rut. My feet is sticking to the ground. I cannot get this front wheel back down in the rut. It took me forever. And I think I said, well, that didn't take long to screw up. But this is about halfway through lap 2. I will start getting some sprinkles on the camera lens. And there's the sprinkles. It goes from a light sprinkle to a heavy sprinkle to a downright downpour. The worst thing about it is goggles. I'm an old man, so I wear glasses. I actually wear trifocals. But when I race, I have contacts in. And I try to keep my goggles on as long as I possibly can. And it actually happened at the end of this lap. Water will get underneath my contacts. If I don't, as you can see, I lose the goggles. Unfortunately, it's down in front of the camera. As I come in at the end of lap 2.
16 behind second.
One thing I did forget to mention, at the middle of lap 2, I lost my clutch. I had to like pump it 4, 5, 6 times to get it to work. And that was for 2 or 3 miles down in the nasty stuff. So I don't know if it got hot and it quit working. But once I got up here on the roads, it cleared up and was fine for the rest of the day. So I'm coming in for lap 2 after a quick pit stop. I think I'm 4th at this point. Sucking down the water. Just want to show you how hard it's raining. As you can see, as we're coming into the slimy bridge section, I'm like checking. I'm like, let's just go down here. I normally don't do that because this is a good place. I actually stopped there for a little bit because I saw a guy go that way and I made sure he got through okay. This is a good way to go down here and get stuck. So make sure before you commit to something like that, make sure somebody else can get through before you. Last thing you want to do is be out here swamping the bike. But yeah, I had an absolutely blast out here at Snowshoe Round 1 2022. Slip sliding in the mud. Really didn't think I would ever get out here this year to do a 2-hour event, especially at Gncc Snowshoe. So thankful that I was able to get out here. And I tweaked my knee a few times. It didn't really hurt too bad. Next day it was a little sore, but totally enjoyed coming out. I want to tell everybody thanks that rooted me on out there on the side of the track. Make sure you like and subscribe to Trail Seeker Adventures. Thank you so much for watching. As you can see, it is very tough to get any of the good video as far as the bottlenecks. So this is pretty much going to do it for this video. Make sure you like, subscribe. You can subscribe by pushing the subscribe button in the middle of the page. Until the next one, see ya!